Hey, Adam,
Geez,
one
why,
thing.
why do you think they called bumpers scary?
I don't know.
Because they come at the beginning, at the end, like bumpers.
Alex, you're a marketing guy. Do you like that design behind Paul? Does that sweet logo thing look pretty cool to you?
Hey, I forgot to hit the record button.
Yeah, that's really professional, isn't it?
Well, this is a professional podcast.
I met her in a parking lot and was handed 2 little Yorkies. And the only person I knew that knew Yorkies was Paul. So I called Paul and said, Paul.
Sweet Talk is a weekly 20-minute podcast brought to you by the Continuing Education and Workforce Training Division of Idaho State University's College of Technology. Find us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and SoundCloud and subscribe today. Now it's time to get started with Sweet Talk.
Welcome to Sweet Talk, Continuing Education and Workforce Development's weekly podcast. As you can see, I am here alone. My co-hosts are out. We have a really wonderful guest today. Our guest today is Angie Sistrunk, and she's going to talk about her journey returning back to school and what it's like for a continuing student who's taken a little bit of few decades off. Angie, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Angela Sistrunk. I work in the Department of Counseling full-time as an administrative assistant, and I'm now attending school, which for me is a huge accomplishment.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to return to school after taking a long break?
I am at a point in my life where, sorry about that. I'm at a point in my life where I kind of, I never really saw myself. I'm trying to live independently and kind of make something of myself. So going to school for me, that was part of it. I wanted to make a future for myself. I wanted to become independent financially and attain my goals.
Now, can you talk a little bit about high school for you? Most people, well, not most people, but many people go to school directly out of high school, and you're returning decades later. Can you talk about where you were in high school and what kind of made you make the decision to go back to school now?
So back in high school, I actually graduated a semester early. My plan was to go to college, and originally I had been seeking a nursing degree. That all changed when I started to have children. So I had to put off my plans for college. And now, in the situation in my life where I am right now, it was just a really good opportunity for me to be able to follow my dreams, to attain my goals, to get my degree.
And then what was the aha moment that led you to say, myself, you can do this, and I want to do this?
Well, I'm kind of a goal tracker. So I have a list of goals that I go over and look at and change daily. Under my list of impossibles, the top one was to go to school. And so to me, I wrote that a couple of years ago. So to me, back then, I thought that wasn't impossible. And now that I've passed my first semester of college, I'm very proud of myself.
Well, I hope everybody is proud of you as well. I think it's such a huge accomplishment, especially when you're working full time as you are, to then go back to school as well. That puts quite a bit on your plate. Can you talk a little bit about what you feel like people returning, such as yourself, like what fears you may have had that someone else may fear, and any advice you would give them to kind of combat those internal kind of doubts?
I think, being such a big gap and being older, I guess it's, you're not so up with technology or how things flow anymore. And so to me, it was a little scary and a little difficult to navigate. But I've had support in all different directions, and I've gotten there. I've gotten through it. I've gotten help from friends and my advisor especially, and been able to get where I'm at right now.
Okay, can you talk about for people returning to school? When I went, which was ages and ages and ages hence, most of it was all paper based, and that switched. We're in the
Mhm.
same kind of demographic, and now it's so digital. Can you
It
give a
is.
little bit advice on people on how you felt the experience was, or what you did to just get started in applying to school and finding out what program you wanted?
Yeah, so I mean, I pretty much knew what program I wanted to go into, eh, because I have a connection with it. Um, yeah, and so like I was saying before, it's a little bit hard to navigate. It's you're not used to how things work like that and what the steps are, the process and everything. I think I was a little bit slow and a little bit behind. I probably turned in some things a little bit later than I should have, but I'm with the help and support of my advisor and friends and all of the other support I get at ISU, that has helped me to get to where I'm at right now.
I'm very glad to hear the ISU has offered you so much support.
They
Now,
have.
good, good. I'm glad to hear that. And for those of you listening, if you would like to come back and you're not quite sure where to start, the admissions office is a great, great place to start. They can help you through that field. If you know what program you'd like to go into, contacting an advisor can also help you greatly. Angie, can you talk a little bit about the major you chose and then what you want to do uh, once you walk across that stage with your cap and gown and get your degree handed to you?
Well, I am definitely looking forward to gaining that associate's degree through the physical therapy assistant program, specifically the assistant to work directly with patients. I hope to find local employment here. I want to live in Pocatello forever, so um, and I just want to serve and help other patients, improve their lives with physical therapy.
And we do have a fantastic physical therapy assistance program in the College of Technology. For people who would like to go on past the physical therapy assistance, we also have a doctorate of physical therapy. What is the length of the course? Like if you're going full time, how long would it take you to get through that physical therapy
It
assistance?
Full time would be 2 years. Yep.
Full time is 2 years. And
Yep.
you are going part time, is that correct, while you work?
Correct. Yep.
And how have your classes been returning? Do you feel like you're doing better than you thought you might do, or are you finding some support where you may need it?
Honestly, I am doing a lot better than I thought I would. I'm definitely struggling in some areas,
Mm.
but like I said, I'm able to get help when I need it too. So
I'm really, really glad to hear that there's assistance for you. Now, you also work at Idaho State University, correct?
yes, in the Department of Counseling as an
Okay.
administrative assistant.
Now, how has your own organization or department supported you, specifically some of the benefits at Idaho State University?
The benefits are amazing. That's what's helped me go to school. But I do also have the support of, my department chair, getting approvals and such that I need for going to school as well.
And for those listening, full-time benefited employees at Idaho State University can take courses at a drastic discount, which is what Angie is talking about right now. What advice would you give to someone in your position that says, "Oh, I really want to, but I don't think I can"?
I'm going to tell them to do it because it's never too late
Mhm.
and anyone can do it. Anyone.
I 100% agree. Now, and when it came to getting into college, at I guess with decades off, what do you believe is the hardest thing for people who have had a gap within their education?
I guess it's just academically, you forget everything that you learned years and years ago. It's like you're starting over. It's like it's like you would be in kindergarten, but you're not. And so that makes it really tough.
Mhm. It, yeah, it does. Now, I'm going to give Angie some props because she just jumped right in. She decided to go and went. There are programs and resources on campus for people who are continuing after a gap. One of those programs is the START program that is in the Roy F. Christensen building. You can contact them. We'll try to make sure that we can get a link below when we post this to that START program, and they can help with some of these kind of instances Angie's mentioned about not really knowing where to start or not knowing where to go. I think Angie's such a great example of someone who just kind of took the bull by the horns. But for many people, that can be a little bit hard. It can be a little bit hard to know exactly where to go, and that START program is such a great place to go to get back into school. They also offer some academic support as well to get people where they need to be to succeed in school. Now, Angie, you mentioned that you just finished your first semester of college, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Now, when have you already applied to your program, or is that going to be something that comes up as you kind of whittle away at some of the general classes you need to get?
Right. Yeah. I'm just kind of whittling away at the preference classes. I could apply as soon as this next March.
And when are you hoping to get into the program itself?
Honestly, March of 25.
I think that would be fantastic. Now, I
Yeah.
want to kind of back up to something you said before, because I think it's
Okay.
very, very interesting. You had stated that you are a goal tracker.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about tracking your goals and how that has helped you kind of fulfill some of those things, especially when you said you thought academia was going to be an impossible task?
Right. I think it's huge. A little bit of it is my personality, my positive attitude, and just looking forward in my future at goals. But it makes such a huge difference if you can be a goal tracker, if you can make lists and try to reach and attain those goals. It's such an immense help. You actually go back and you look at those and you see what you're accomplishing. And like I did with my list, I accomplished an impossible. So guess what? That means I can accomplish anything.
Now, are there other impossible tasks that you've been able to check off that little goal list?
There are. So there's 4 on the list right now, and I've attained 3 of them.
Oh, wow. Can you tell us about this?
um, I'm trying to remember what the other things are, though. That's the thing that it's in my notes. Um, oh gosh, I'm not going to
So while
remember what
you're
else is
thinking,
on there
I'm
right
going to
now.
ask a question. You
Okay.
had 4 impossible tasks
Yeah.
in your goal section. And we know
Right.
education was one, and you're already
Mhm.
getting that done.
Right.
What's the mindset that goes through your mind as a returning student and as someone who had 4 goals that you thought you would never ever accomplish, and 3 of them you have already accomplished?
It's really exciting. It really excites me for myself and for the future. And it shows me that I can do anything. I was
Mhm.
so excited. I actually hadn't looked at my list for about a month or 2, and then got back to looking at it. And when I saw those 3 things had been checked off, I called my sister excited and told her. I told her like 3 times. I'm like, listen, Kathy, this was my impossibles list, and there's 3 of them that are done.
And I think that's what I think is really inspiring about this is that you saw that impossible list and you didn't just say, "Oh, well, it's on my impossible list. I'm gonna forget about it," and then
Right.
concentrate on ones that were lower you know, because I'm sure some of those lower ones, if you checked off the 3 impossible, are just check, check, check.
Right.
Now, how long had you had that list before you whittled away so far on them?
About a year.
So you got 3 of your 4 impossibles started or accomplished within 1 year.
Yes.
Now, would you advise that people do make that goal list? Do you feel it helped you in deciding to kind of check off those goals as you continued your education and career?
Absolutely. For one, it's a reminder. You look at that daily or however often you look at it, and then you remember, oh, yeah, I've got to do this. I've got to do this. But also, when you go back and you see that list and you see that there are things that are checked off, it's like an amazing feeling of accomplishment.
Well, Angie, I'm so happy to hear that. Do you mind if I ask what your 4th one was? What that 4th impossible was that you haven't quite gotten to yet?
Going to Hawaii.
And you know something? I think that's so within reach for you.
It is so within reach. My goal is by graduation, I'm going to Hawaii.
Okay, so and that you said this was a program that was 2 years long,
Yes.
and you want to start in fall of 2025 or
It would
2026?
No, that's right. It would be, so I would apply, let's see, I would apply, let's see, fall of 24. It would be March of 24 is when I could apply.
Okay, so that means you'd have the school
So,
year of 25 to 26 and 26 to
mhm,
27. So
right.
it is not that far away.
No, it's not,
It's
especially as fast as life goes.
yeah. It's what, 2.5, 3 years away that
Right.
you're looking?
Right.
2.5, 3 years away.
Yep.
Hopefully my math is right. Someone can tell me if
That's right.
it's incorrect. But well, and you started that a year ago. So that means you had 4 impossible tasks. And within 4 to 5 years, every single one of those tasks, including getting a college education, is going to be checked off.
Right.
Okay, well, we are running low on time, Angie, so I just want to
Okay.
let you know, thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast.
You're welcome.
I hope people who are thinking about going back to school have listened to Angie's story and that they've taken away that if they as well can go back to school. And again, as I had stated, Angie just kind of took the bull by the horns and ran at it. But she did mention as well that sometimes it can be a little bit daunting knowing what you need to do or where you need to go in order to continue your education. There is support at ISU's campus, including free tutoring through several departments, including the content area tutoring. And we also have tutoring here through the TAP Resource Center through the College of Tech. If you are going back to school and you just have absolutely no idea where to start, you can call the START program. That's a free program for anyone looking back to go to school. And that phone number is 208-282-4359. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this type of content, please like, share, subscribe. There are other videos on the same topic and other podcasts on the same topic. Typically, they're listed as Every Student Has a Story. So you can go back and watch those as well. Those particularly focus on the START program and students who have gone through there. If you are interested in anything we have at continuing education, you can find us at cetrain.isu.edu. Thank you and be safe out there.